This video is edited and approved by Nano.
Hi guys, welcome back to Making Food Monday. The weather is getting cold outside, and for some reason that always makes me want to have one of those nice, hearty, meaty, stick to your ribs kind of meals. So today we're going to be making buttery ranch pork chops with potatoes. For today's recipe, we're gonna need pork chops. I've got bone-in, but you could also use boneless if that's what you've got. I've got coconut oil, chicken bouillon powder. I've got some red potatoes, butter, ranch seasoning mix. If you have the packets, that's okay. You can just use one packet, and some smoked paprika for the nice smoky flavor. And that's all we're gonna need for today's recipe, guys. First step today is gonna be to take about a tablespoon of coconut oil, that right down into the bottom of your pot. Then we're gonna go into our sear roast function and get that started to get our oil melted. Okay guys, then we're gonna take our pork chops and brown them on both sides. Okay, we've got our last pork chop in there, finishing the browning process. And now we're gonna return all of our browned pork chops to the pot. And in it goes. And then you can take all the juice that was on the plate with your pork chops and add that right back in too. You don't wanna lose any of your juices. Okay guys, up next we got our potatoes. We're either gonna cut those in half or quarter, depending on the size of the potato. So I think we'll just do that one in half. This big guy will have to go in quarters though, because we want to make sure that they all have enough time to cook through. Here we go. Okay guys, now we're going to take our ranch seasoning powder and we're going to sprinkle it evenly over all of our pork chops. For those of you that don't have the packets and you've got the same kind I have, we're going to need about 1/8 cup of ranch seasoning mix. And then we're just going to sprinkle that as evenly as possible over all of our pork chops. We're probably gonna have to move them out of the way so we can get to the bottom ones here. Okay guys, now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna sprinkle about 1 teaspoon of paprika on all of our pork chops. Oops. Okay, now because I dropped a whole bunch on this one, I'm gonna flip this guy over and let that paprika go on all of them. There we go. I'm not very good at sprinkling evenly, so we'll just do it that way. Okay guys, now we're gonna take about a stick of butter, which is 1/2 cup of butter, and we're gonna place that in the pot on the pork chops. I'm gonna have to guess a little bit here because I want to spread it around, so I'm not going to put it in a measuring cup. So I'm gonna guess that I have enough and I'm going to spread it around. It's probably just gonna melt down right off of there. But that's okay because we want to flavor the sauce that we'll be using as well. So there we go. Okay guys, now we're gonna get 1 cup of hot water and we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder. Now the reason that we mix that before we put it in is because we don't want to rinse off all of our flavors. We just want to pour that right in the bottom of the pot. Now we're going to take our cut potatoes and we're going to put those right on top of our pork chops. Just like that. And now we're ready to seal up our pot. Guys, we're gonna go into our chicken function. We're gonna bring that time cook down to 5 minutes. Okay, now even though I have bone-in pork chops, I'm actually doing 5 minutes instead of 6 or 7 because I figure you can always cook it more. You can't ever cook it less. And with pork chops, you have to kind of be careful because nobody likes overdone pork chops. They get really dry and they're just not very tasty. So I would rather try 5 minutes, check those out, make sure that the temperature inside the pork chop is good, and then serve them. Or if it's not, I can check them and I can always turn it back on. Okay guys, our time is finished. Our pot beeped and it's been 5 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and let that pressure out. Now remember, because it's gonna depend how much time these pork chops need as how thick they are. So I'm not entirely sure that 5 minutes was enough. So we're gonna open it up, we're gonna check them with my handy dandy thermometer, and we're gonna make sure that they're ready to go. Okay, opening it up. Ooh. Yum. It smells really good. So the first thing I'm gonna do is check to see that my potatoes are soft, and they are soft, so that's good. Ooh. Nice and soft, yep. Okay, we'll take the potatoes out of the way and we'll check the pork chops. Okay, so I'm gonna take my thermometer, turn it on, and stick it right in there so I can make sure that it's gonna be warm enough. Oh yeah, it has to get to 165. Once it gets past 165, I know we're in good shape. Yep, that one's good. And I realize these are down in this liquid, but I'm not sticking it all the way through, so it's in the liquid, I'm just sticking it into the meat. So yeah, these are good. In fact, they might even be a little overdone. Okay, it's ready, and we've got it plated. Now we need our...
Do it. Smartypants!
Here they come. What is that? That's a crazy guinea pig. What is that? Oh my goodness. There's the daddy pig. Hi, Daddy Pig.
Hello.
Mia Pig. Is the Mia Pig not hungry today? Who thinks it smells awesome? Oh, me. Oh, there she is. I found her. Hi, Mia Pig.
Hi.
Okay, let's see. Who should go first? I think... Jackson. You want me to help you cut it?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of this? What do you think? Do you like it? Yeah? I get 2 thumbs? Thanks, man. All right, Nano, you're up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
Is it good? Is it dry?
No.
No?
For
Good.
me, yeah, it might be that.
Are you gonna give it some thumbs? Yeah? Thanks, buddy. All right, let's go around the table. Dad, you're up.
Ooh, all right. Smells amazing. Looks amazing.
Thanks.
Mmm.
Are they good?
Yummy flavor. Mmm. That's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. So, you gonna give me any thumbs?
That sauce, I don't know what to call it.
The butter sauce?
The juice. Mm.
Is it good? Nice.
Mm.
Taste the potato. Let me see if the potatoes turn out good. I'm not sure if the flavor would go through the potatoes, but we could always add some ranch powder to the potatoes, like salt.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be good?
Mm-hmm. And the flavor did transfer. Well, that's really good. And it's not dry. It's perfect. Huge thumb up. Yum.
Thanks. All right, Miss Malelope.
It's good.
Your turn. How come you're not excited? You don't want to eat my dinner that I made for you? She's mad that I put broccoli on her plate, just for those that don't know.
And that I have to go.
Last. Sorry, just went around the table today. What do you think? Do you like it?
Only a little dry. Oh, and the meat is so tender. And oh, it's so delicious.
That was awesome. Good job. Yeah? Thanks, man. Okay, guys, my final thoughts. The flavor of these pork chops is really good. However, do you remember what I told you about not being able to uncook them? 5 minutes is too much. I don't know who wrote the recipe at 5 minutes, but they used boneless pork chops, and they did it for 5 minutes. And they said if you're gonna use bone-in pork chops to maybe do 10 minutes. No, let me tell you, do not do 10 minutes with bone-in pork chops. In fact, don't do 5 minutes. If you're gonna sear them first, they're pretty much half cooked by the time you're done searing them or browning them. So you don't even want 5 minutes. That was too much. way too dry for my taste. Now, if you like a drier pork chop, they're probably perfect. I don't like dry pork chops. So the flavor was amazing. So it was worth it to me to chew on them. I put a little extra ranch powder on the top and it was really, really good. I actually wanted to eat it, but they were so dry. I used the juice from the pot, which actually was recommended, to use the butter sauce kind of juice that was in the bottom. It was recommended that you use that on your meat and on your potatoes as kind of a gravy. And it was really good that way because there's a lot of flavor in that juice. So that was fine, but the pork chops were still much too dry for me. Next time I make it, and I'll probably make it again because it was really tasty, it just was too dry. Next time I make it, I will not give it any natural pressure release time. I will take it out as soon as it beeps. And I'll probably only put it in for 2 minutes because it was really dry. And then I'll start checking it. If I need to put it in for another minute, I can do that. But I will definitely not do 5 minutes again. That was too much. But they're tasty. So I'll give it a half a thumb. I'm gonna give this one a sideways because the flavors were really, really good, but the time was just way off. So, yeah. Who thought the pork chops were awesome?
Yay.
Actually, you know, everybody ate their pork chops. Malia did not eat all of them because she got full, but everybody thought the flavor was good, right? And the only problem I found with them is that they were too dry because either pork chops don't do very well in the pressure cooker, which I haven't determined that yet, or there was just too much time. It was kind of a flop because they were way overdone. So, bad recipe, I don't know,
Make it
bad
again.
timing. We'll have to try it again.
Yeah.
We'll try it again. We'll give this one a second shot. But for today, I'm gonna give this one sideways
I
thumb.
still give it good because I don't really test on the chewiness or the toughness.
You go with flavor?
I go with flavor.
Yeah. Okay, so flavor was good.
Because you just might like accidentally make a mistake. Like anyone can overcook something.
Yeah, I don't like it overcooked, but you're right. It could happen. It's a mistake that could happen. So next time we'll not cook it near as long. 5 minutes does not sound like very much time, but it was way too much for these pork chops. At any rate,
it wasn't meatloaf. Oh.
At any rate, it's time for you childrens to go to bed. So,
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to make this channel strong, share it with your friends. And now, good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow.